Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So going into this season, I felt like the Clippers had a chance to have a winning record this season, right? We all know that, a lot of people didn't pick them, and I believe that they were able to do well this season. They were going to be able to do well this season, even in the absence of Kawhi Leonard. I felt as if, strongly felt as if that they probably had one of the best, or if not the best coach in the entire NBA in Tyronn Lue. Last year, I saw enough evidence for me to feel so strongly about Ty Lue. During the regular season, I was like, sometimes I was up and down on him. And then at a certain point, I said to myself, listen, this guy knows what he's doing, and I'm no longer going to doubt him. Ty Lue, in my opinion, is the best basketball coach that we have in the league. And, right now he has this team playing very well. As we currently speak, they're 3 games above 500. Think about that. The Clippers are 3 games above 500, and their best player is not even there. Now, a lot of that has to do with coaching, but also some of that has to do with the play of Paul George. Yesterday we put up a poll on our channel asking the question, is Paul George having his best year as a leader? And, the majority of the people agreed, but some people had some pushback and saying, well, listen, he also had some great years with the Indiana Pacers. Here's one of the reasons I think Paul George is doing very well this season. I think here's one of the reasons I think this is one of his best years as far as a leader. I think it's one of his best years because we have to look at the context of circumstances, right? In this case, he's playing in the Western Conference. In this case, this team last year made it to the Western Conference Finals, a place that they had never been before. 2 years prior, a lot of people were picking him to win the NBA championship. And given all of the ridicule that he had to go through last season with people calling him Pandemic P, all of these different things, I think, listen, he's answered the bell and he's leading this team from the front. And he's putting up some fantastic numbers. If we look at his stats this season, Paul George is averaging 26.4 points per game. That's 3 points up. More than he was averaging last season. He's shooting 44% from the field. He's shooting 35% from the three. Now, his 3-point percentage has dropped by 6 percentage points, because last season he shot 41% from the three. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's not playing with Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard draws a lot of attention on the court, which gives him a lot of spacing, and it helps other players like Marcus Morris Sr. and others. Anyway, he's also shooting 90%, an efficient 90% from the free throw line. That's fantastic. I was watching a bit of the game yesterday, and they said that, I saw him at the free throw line, and they said that's the first free throws he's had in 3 games. So I guess Paul George is out. It's a constant thing with him and the referees. He's also getting you 7.7 rebounds, which is fantastic. So he's rebounding the ball at a high level, and he's getting you 5.2 assists. Now his turnovers are a bit high at 4.1, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's handling he has a lot of the ball handling responsibilities. So that's to be expected. But also he's getting you 1.9 steals per game, which is also really good. So in my opinion, I think, listen, Paul George is playing at a high level, and I think, he's really showing these guys that, listen, in the absence of Kawhi Leonard, I can really step up and lead this team, right? I can make some big shots. Yesterday, I was watching the game that they were playing. I forgot the team they were playing against, but it was the Dallas Mavericks, and they were also without their best player, Luka Doncic, and it was in the waning moments, and they ran some plays before that Reggie Jackson, that circus shot that he hit. Paul George, they cleared it out. They cleared out the floor, on the elbow, and he just went to work on an ISO move, and he just got to his spot, 2 dribble, pull up, and he hit the fadeaway jump shot over his defender, and I was like, wow, that was pretty big, So he's been playing very well, but it's not just Paul George. We also have to look at his team. The Clippers, as a group, as a collective, they've been playing very well, and I want to delve in a little bit to some of their team stats right now. Now, although right now, as we currently speak, they're the number 20th ranked offense in the NBA, scoring about 106.1 points per game, which is not very high, right? But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're missing their best player, Kawhi, who would have probably given them an additional 25, 26 points per game. So that's to be expected. However, they're still in the top 10 in 3-point shooting percentage. I think they're the number 10 team in 3-point shooting percentage. They're the number 6 team in free throw shooting percentage. If you guys remember, last year they broke the NBA record for free throw shooting percentage. Was it 3-point shooting? Yeah, free throw shooting percentage. And I think they came close to breaking the record for 3-point shooting percentage. But the most impressive stat of all of their team stats is this stat. They are the number 2 ranked defense in the entire NBA. To me, that is their most impressive accomplishment this season. Last season, if you guys followed us as we made Clippers videos, you would hear me complain a lot about their defense. I didn't like the fact that they were allowing opponents to score 107, 108, 109 points per game. I thought that was just way too many points. This season, the Clippers have really improved on the defensive side of the floor. And I think defense is one of the key ingredients you're going to need to be a fantastic team and a playoff team, and a team that can actually make it deep into the playoffs. Just look at the teams that are doing pretty well. Look at I think the Golden State Warriors, I think they're the number 1 ranked defensive team in the NBA. I think the Chicago Bulls are up there. Think about the season when the Lakers won the championship. They were the number 1 ranked defensive team in the NBA. So defense is a major component to winning. And I like that they're already establishing those habits right now. Right. So when you bring Kawhi Leonard, hopefully when they insert him back into the lineup, a 2-time defensive player of the year, he's able to help them, enhance their defensive prowess, as they move forward. So I like that. I like that about them, which brings me to Kawhi Leonard, right? I saw Kawhi Leonard yesterday at the game, right, in his funky outfit with his, I think he had on like pink satin pants or something like whatever. That's Kawhi, right? And he was there, right? And he was looking good. He was there, laughing it up and having a good time. And early in the season, or actually early this year, when he got his surgery, I predicted that Kawhi Leonard was going to come back this season. Some people don't think he's going to come back. Shannon Sharp is a little bit skeptical of the idea of him coming back. I know Chris Broussard says he doesn't expect him to return, but I expect Kawhi Leonard to return. And I've always felt as if he would return either before All-Star break or after All-Star break. And here's some of the reasons why I think this. I did a little bit of research about, the recovery time of a partially torn ACL. And according to some of the data that I was able to unearth, it says that it takes you about 6 months to recover from that type of surgery. Okay, so they're saying it's going to take him about 6 months to recover, which means that he should be fully healed by January, right? Because if you're counting, he had the surgery in July, so you have August, September, October, November, December, January. That's 6 months. Then I think he'll take about an additional 2 months to get his body back into basketball shape, start weightlifting again, start, getting into, do all of the things that you need to do as a basketball player to be sure that you're ready to get on a basketball court, which brings us to March. And that's the reason why I think, because remember All-Star break is in March, that's the reason why I think he will most likely come return after All-Star break, after the All-Star weekend. And I think that's when we're going to see him. And I think we're going to have an additional, month and a half of him playing on the court to come back and really help this team make a push into the playoffs. So that's the reason why I believe Kawhi Leonard is going to come back. I think all the Clippers have to do right now is make sure that they stay in the playoff picture and they do not drop into the play-in tournament. If they can stay as the number 6 seed and up, I think that, they're going to put themselves in a good position to be able to contend and really make a run at this thing with the healthy Kawhi Leonard. If they get into the play-in tournament, then I think they can get themselves into some problems. And right now, currently the 4th ranked, they're currently the number 4 seed in the Western Conference. So I think that's where they need to stand right now. And I think they have a chance to stay afloat until he returns. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about some of the things that I said? Do you think he's going to return? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.